Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a quick and easy winter movement or transition break. Let's get started. So I'm going to share this as if I were standing at the classroom door, and here come my kindergartners. And I'm going to start tiptoeing. And mine always came in and they would walk around the circle one full time before stopping in their spots. So I already had them doing that as a transition from the hallway, from their line, into the music room. So we're going to tiptoe, and I'm going to have them start patting the beat. Pat on their knees. Pat, 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 pat. And I'm smiling at them, and I'm going to tiptoe around a circle, and then I'm going to say, "Be my echo." And they know to copy my voice. Look at the snow. Brr, it's cold. Pat your knees. Tap your fingers. Clap your hands. Stomp your feet. Can you do it on the beat? Now I know that you know there's going to be so many different types of actions that you can use in this. So I'm just giving you a basic outline, and then your creativity can jump in and you can use this, adapt it to what you're doing in your classroom and make the most of it. The main idea of it is to get your students to listen to you. That means they're going to listen, follow directions. They're going to listen and respond. They're going to use their body to respond as well as speech. And they're going to have practice working together to do the activity. And I think those things are essential activities, especially in the younger grades, preschool even, kindergarten, first, second grades. So now let's add some things in that can maybe take it longer if we want to make it go longer. And one of those things is to use an instrument. So for a winter activity, I might use this to play the beat. Look at the snow. Brr, it's cold. Pat your knees. Snap your fingers or tap. Clap your hands. Stomp your feet. Look at me. Now take a seat. And have everybody sit down. Yay! We just got the kids from the hallway to the line where they've had to stand quietly into the classroom. We've had them feel the beat. We've had to listen and respond and speech and movement in the first 1 minute of your classroom. Another way to do this activity would be to add in more actions. So I might use the first part to get them to their seats. Then I could do a build a snowman, a pretend play activity. And we could do that on the beat too. So 1, 2, 3, stand up for me. 1, 2, 3, stand up for me. And then they stand up, and then you could start snow play. Let's build a snowman. Roll the ball. Roll another ball. Now make the head. Put them together. Give him some eyes. And you could either do it here or you can do it to your snowman out here. Give him a nose. 3, 4. Give him a mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give him some arms. Give him some mittens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give him some boots and then pull the boots on. Give him a hat. Give him a scarf. And on you could go. You might want to save the hat for the end, like in Frosty the Snowman. You could do that. Then you can say, look at your snowman. He's ready to dance. And this is where an instrument might be helpful. Just grab it. You have it ready. It's just sitting right there by the piano or on your desk. Kick your feet, and then they kick. Jump up and down. Sway your hips. So you can just add in some movement actions, have them turn around, have them sit down, and then the sun comes out and the snow melts and we wave goodbye with tears in our eyes to our snowman. It's a super fun way to get your students into the classroom, transition them, or you can even do that and have them line up ready to leave the room. Or if you are moving from instruments to a movement activity even, you could do a short transition of that so they move to the circle. Maybe they're sitting in rows, now they're in the circle, they're ready to do scarves or they're ready to do a brain break. So I like to use chants for the directions, for the movement in the classroom to transition students from one activity to the other. I like to use those kind of activities because it does I promise you, it helps keep them focused. It helps the lesson move smoother, and it's just more engaging for the kids. And it's fun for the teacher too. Another way to use activity with your older students, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades, is you do the activity with them copying you the first time, which may seem simple to them, but here's 2 ways to escalate it or raise it to the level that's more age appropriate. One way is to choose students to be the leaders. You might have the lines to the chant up on the board so they can see those words and call them out, or on a piece of paper, whatever works. That way the students want to participate and you can have them take turns being the leader and doing the chant on different days. Another way to escalate it is to, instead of having them move in a circle, you teach them to move around the room and passing each other without touching from different spots in the room. No talking, no touching. See if you can do it. And then you're going to do it on the beat. You can use fun music in this activity with the older grades too. You can play a song, find the beat, and have that playing as you do the activity in the background. That works too. Now we're going to take that simple and easy chant and we're going to turn it into a music lesson. We're going to read the rhythms. We're going to decode the rhythms. We're going to create some other rhythm patterns. You can adjust this, adapt it for different grade levels. Then you'll want to come up with what is the end goal. So if you want them to create an ostinato that's being played as the other students move and chant, then you'll want to do that as the music lesson activity. So here's how you might want to try it. Group 1 is going to sit in a group and play the steady beat. Look at the snow. Okay, and then they're going to go through it. And if they can say the words and play them, great. If not, it's okay, the way I do it. Then you're going to have another group, a small group, that are going to have a shaker or a softer sounding instrument, and they're going to play the rhythm of the words. So they will need to say the words, but they don't necessarily need to do the movement. So you could decide, do you want them moving with the shaker, or do you want one group playing the rhythm and maybe have a group moving in the middle of the circle, for example. Look at the snow. Brr, it's cold. And you can choose the brr, it's cold. It can be a quarter note with a quarter rest, or you could do cold and have it be a half note. That's how you can adapt it to meet the needs of the grade level you're using this in. Next would be to have the movement group move with the rhythm. So you have beat, rhythm, movement, and you have the people that are chanting as they're moving and the rhythm people. So it'll be nice and strong. Then you have another group who's going to create some kind of rhythmic ostinato. Look at the snow. Brr, it's cold. And you want to take the time to have them write that down. And then they play it for the class. And then you're going to put it all together. And then to take it to another level, you could have the students create a melody, or you could make up a very simple melody. Just on so and me. And again, that's why it's adaptable, because you could use so, me. If you're working, for example, on frosty weather and you want to have them have more practice with pentatonic and incorporating that la into the song. So you come up with the solfege notes you want to use in the song, make up a melody for the chant words, and then you can have one of the groups either play that melody or create a melodic ostinato over the top of your melody. It might sound something like this. Look at the snow. Brr, it's cold. Pat your knees. Stomp your feet. And on with the actions or whatever you've decided to use in this little chant and song. So then you could use barred instruments for the activity too. With the adaptations, what you'll want to do is do the chant without any melody the first time. And then the second time, have it be student-led or more student, comfort zone where they know it better. And then you can have them go the barred instruments and you can have them make up those melodies. And then in small groups, they could do that. And then they can share those as a class. Winter music activities don't have to be too complicated. What is the purpose of all the activities you're doing? Then you want to create activities that will meet the needs of all the different students or different ways that everybody learns. Movement, visual, doing, seeing, hearing, feeling, all those different things. So all your students are going to get it by the time you get through this activity. So just to recap for a second, I gave you a lot of ideas on how to use a simple transition chant and turn it into a music lesson activity too. You want to start with something simple, something easy that you can do without too much preparation. You're going to come up with a set of actions, 3 or 4, that go with the words, look at the snow, brr, it's cold. Then you're going to do some movement actions. You can choose to build a snowman, then engage the students with learning activities that are their learning goals. For adaptations in the upper grades, you want to give them more opportunities to play the song and create the song, find the notes. You could use boom whackers, you could use barred instruments, you could have them write a song with their ukuleles, something where they're having to create and compose from the simple chant or song that you gave them. This is where I find the best learning happens, where students can really grow musically through a lot of diverse types of activities and then being challenged to compose and create something from themselves. I hope this video is helpful for you during your winter music activities. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's keep kids moving and learning with music.